The album. A collection of audio recordings distributed for public consumption. In all of human history, only 1% of albums end up becoming a classic. How do you make a classic, you ask? Today, using Travis Scott's latest album, Utopia, which is a classic by the way, I will show you the secret to making a classic album for free.
For your 10/10 album, your production is going to need to be top tier. Your lyricism doesn't even need to be that good. People gravitate to the vibes and the music first and foremost. Are the frequencies and sounds meshing together? Is it hitting? And old boy Travis did not disappoint with his production. Utopia has a cohesive sound which is dark, ethereal, anthemic, and futuristic. Those are the vibes that the project is going for. It sticks with it. To achieve this, Travis utilizes production from world-class producers. We're talking Boy Wonder, we're talking Wonder Girl, Mike Dean, Metro Boomin, Pharrell, Benny X. Bro, yo, I'm sorry, I gotta stop there because the amount of GOAT producers I just mentioned is enough to make any rapper cream themselves. Not that I know anything about that. Now you can have hard beats and catchy choruses, but if your pacing isn't right, how are you going to make sure that people stay hooked onto the album and that they don't go to sleep? And honestly, I think this is one of Travis's biggest strengths. Every album that this guy has produced has been paced wonderfully. He does this through interesting production and most notably his features. When you think you're about to get a little bit bored of Utopia, boom, Carti comes in. When you think you're going to get a bit bored again, boom, Weeknd makes you ascend. There's so many moments on this album which Travis provides to these artists, and it just keeps the album fresh, interesting, and exciting. And like I said, it's not just the features, it's the use of production. Travis's use of production is not plain, it's not bland, it's evolving over time. For example, if you look at the track Meltdown with Drake, when Travis's bit comes in, you get those anthemic horns that signal that bro is here.
The members done hung up the Louis, they not even wearing that shit. Don't come to the boy about repairing some shit. Don't come to the boy about sparing some shit.
And also you have that beat switch at the end, and there are loads of beat switches throughout this whole album, and that just keeps the album, you know, exciting. You're not getting bored, it's flowing, it's not just the same thing every time. That is pacing. The runtime of an album also contributes to the pacing. Personally, I think Travis could have maybe dropped 10 minutes off the album just to make it a little bit shorter, but this guy hasn't dropped in like, what, 20 years, so yo, I'll cut him some slack. Okay, so now that you've got your music down, which is the most important bit about your project, you've got it mixed, mastered, it's sounding good, you need a fire album cover. The album cover is a piece of art itself. It represents your body of work. And bro, like some album covers over the last couple of years have been dog shit. They are failing to represent the body of work that this artist has produced. And you know what? It just screams that I haven't put any effort into this and people don't get hyped for your project. And I don't like to hate on Drake, but Certified Lover Boy, is this the aesthetic that you really want to push for your project, for your classic album?
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Travis, on the other hand, had 5 different album covers. And while I would say this is a little bit overkill, I think it really worked perfectly with the rollout of the album. It was a great marketing strategy. In the end, I think he stuck with the OG, the best album cover in my opinion. The album cover that he went with is incredibly dark and it kind of depicts Travis sort of falling through this dark void, some kind of like Get Out vibes. I think this is what symbolizes the aesthetic of Utopia perfectly. It could represent Travis failing to find his utopia and instead just falling back on sex, money, drugs. But to be honest, bro might have just been really fried choosing the album cover, but it's so tough regardless. So you've created your art, you've got your music, you've got your album cover, it's packaged up nicely. You've got your magnum opus. But now that you've got your magnum opus, how is it a classic if no one knows about it? Travis and his team are excellent at making an event album. And what I mean by an event album is an album that carries magnitude, like a release of a film, like a Barbie Oppenheimer type of release. It's a whole event. It's an event day type of album. And to hype up the release, to hype up this event day album, Travis used a couple different techniques that I'm gonna go through. So if you don't remember, there was the Utopia briefcase that was going around the hands of different celebrities like, you know, Kai Cenat, Bad Bunny, SZA, Travis's bodyguard, whoever this guy is, and just people seeing pictures of that Utopia briefcase really hypes up the release because Travis is a mysterious guy to begin with. Bro also had the Air Jordan 1 olive colorway in the wakes of the album, so you know, people knew that something was coming by seeing this shoe. Personally, I can't afford this shoe, just wanted to clear that up. But one of the craziest ways to roll out Utopia was the single K-pop. Bro really just put together the two biggest artists in the world, Weeknd, Bad Bunny, and put them together. He made a big banger. If that's not a way to get people looking at your album, then I don't know what is. Travis also had select theaters playing his A24 produced movie Circus Maximus. I mean, yeah, it's just another way of getting your fans hyped, getting people hyped to the album, a movie, an event day, you know, similar to Barbenheimer that just happened, mixing in and correlating to this Utopia experience. And finally, for the release of Utopia, Travis updated his whole website, giving it a completely different look, and he dropped lots of merch for his fans to cop. And you know, people love their fashion, people love their merch. This is gonna get fans hyped. It's gonna get people wearing those t-shirts, wearing the merch when the album drops. This is true event day marketing. Now that's what I'm saying, you lot. You gotta pay attention to this event day marketing. This is the new thing. So before I give you the last piece of the puzzle of how to make your album, just remember that the rollout lasts way after the album has been released. Keep finding new, unique, different ways to promote your album. Whew, all right. It's been a bit of a long journey here. It's been a lot of work. You've created the music, you've mixed and mastered it, you've planned the rollout, you've got the album cover sorted. Now what you've got to do is hit the big stage, baby. Travis is an excellent live performer, and to show off Utopia in the flesh, he performed at one of Rome's biggest stages alongside Ye. Sheesh, I mean, like, what a moment. Again, just bringing out Ye, who we haven't seen in ages, brings a lot of eyes to you and your project. My personal opinion, the show is crazy, and you know, it also helps Travis, you know, reconnect with his fans. It's been a minute since he's been doing lots of live shows because of the whole tragedy. It's great to reconnect, and even with new fans, it gives them a new look at how you perform, at how you show off this album. And you know, all I'm saying is, live Travis Scott hits different. So after all that, now you know how to make a classic album. So when you're getting all the love and all the credit, you're making that dollar, I'm gonna need a little bit of credit, just a little shout out or something, you know? Or alternatively, you could just like and subscribe, and you know, we good. I love you guys, peace.